So as a DoorDash driver, has this happened to you yet? You get a stacked order and pay-wise, it's okay, nothing great, below miles. And then you look at what you're picking up before you go into the restaurant and you go, huh? This looks like a catering order. And you think, nah, can't be. But then you go to pick it up and an associate comes out with 3 bags and says, here's your order. Yeah, that just happened to me today. Back DoorDash. And honestly, we'll get to the results later in this video. I think it'll shock you because it's either you're so pissed off wondering how DoorDash can hide a catering order in a stacked order, or in the end, just as confused as ever. Okay, so before I really get into the story of all this and exactly what happened to me today, give you a little background. I am a platinum dasher. So I see the platinum symbol, I see plus signs, and what I'm about to show you, for anybody that's not in the tier system, this might be a normal order for you because you're not used to seeing symbols or plus signs. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you are in the tiers and you're expecting priority of higher paying orders, you look for that symbol to say, hey, this is it. Or you see a little plus sign that says, hey, this order is going up. Great. And it actually makes your decision a little bit more easier. Not saying a lot, a little bit more easier to understand the orders you're taking or declining. Okay, so here is my fantastic order. So it was during the lunch shift today. And this order comes in, I'm going to put it up right on the screen, $12.25, 4.1 miles, 2 pickups, 2 drop-offs. The restaurants were literally right across the street from each other, so no big deal. Figure to be quick and easy, right? Famous last words. So I get to the first restaurant, and I'm looking at the order, and it has 6 items, and I'm expecting it to be like 6 entrees of some sort. I'm thinking, okay, well, why isn't this like a large order catering? So then I'm looking at it, and it says family feast, family feast, family mega feast. And I'm like, what the heck? And then at the bottom, it was 2 different salads. I'm like, this looks like a catering order. Like something I would pick up from one of my catering apps. I'm like, no, it can't be. It's a stacked order, right? $12.25. And then I'm thinking, if that's the case, this order is so messed up beyond belief if that's the case. I'm thinking in the back of my head, so I'm getting paid $12 to do 2 orders, and one of them is a catering order. I'm like, oh, DoorDash, don't do me wrong on this one. So I'm like, I'm still in like, no, it can't be, right? So I go up to the associate and says, hi, I'm here for a DoorDash order for. And she goes, oh, you have a big order. It is what I suspected. So she comes out with 3 huge bags. I'm like, son of, I am literally cursing out DoorDash in the back of my mind. I have to tell you, just based off of the upfront payout alone, I like, whatever, let's go get this done. There's no setup fee, so sorry customer, you're literally getting this dropped off at your wherever I'm dropping it off at. Okay, so I pick up the second order. It's literally 1 item, in, out. So the first one drop off is the big order. And I walk in, it's a doctor's office, and I think they were looking for me to set it up. There was literally nothing that says, like, usually it's extra $3 for setting up an order. It had nothing on there whatsoever. So I said, where would you like me to place this? So she brings me to the break room, and I put the items on the counter, and I said, hi, and it had a signature required. I haven't had one of those in a really long time. Lately, everything has been PIN number required. She signs it, I go on my way, and then I go to do the second drop off and get that one done. And as I am closing, I literally had the order closed out, and then I get a message that the customer tipped an additional $3. At this point, I didn't even know what the payout was, but I'm like, oh, that's really nice of them. So this is the payout right here. Freaking DoorDash hid a catering order in a stacked order with no indicator that it was catering, that it was going up. There was no plus sign. Why was this not a platinum order? These are all the questions I have, and I feel like they're really good questions that I want answered. So, what do you think about this? First of all, has anything like this happened to you before? And yes, I'm sorry, I'm gearing this more towards my Dashers that are in the tier program. Even Dashers who aren't in the tier program, do you see hidden gems? I'm going to call it that, right? That you get like this? I was baffled by this order today as I am still talking to it, because this is the thing. What mind games is DoorDash playing with its drivers? Talk about like a transparency nightmare. This is like anything far from transparent. Why was this not a platinum order? Why didn't it come across as a plus sign? Were they testing drivers to see how low they can go before an order gets delivered, testing out base pays on something like this? Because if you look at the base pay, they didn't put an $8 base pay, which would have been a catering order. So, maybe they're saving money on the base pay by not labeling it as a catering order. And that could be. Maybe I'm onto something there. I'm trying to understand the reasoning and why they would hide something like this. And hiding meaning there was no plus signs, there was no indicators. To me, the reason why I was so frustrated with this order to begin with is because I'm thinking, wow, DoorDash completely just conned a driver into taking a stacked order, thinking it was going to be quick, simple, 4 miles done, and move on to the next order. And all of a sudden, I'm delivering a catering order. That's the part that gets me aggravated, because you're thinking now you're getting paid $12 to deliver all this food, and it wasn't. So first of all, before anybody gets on me about this, let me clarify something. I am extremely grateful. Don't get me wrong. I am not complaining that the order went up. That's not what this is about. It's more about the principle of DoorDash playing games with drivers when it comes to orders like this. Like, to me, there's no reason why something like this has to happen. That's why I'm confused by it. If DoorDash was transparent or more transparent with their drivers, that's why I said in my video a couple days ago with Uber Eats, watch out DoorDash, because they're stepping up their game. So if Uber Eats is becoming more transparent, if Grubhub is already transparent, do you think you would get the hint at some point? This is, to me, completely nonsense. And it just has me questioning why. If you got an order just like this one and you were a platinum driver, would you have ever suspected that it would have went up to the $26 that it actually was? Technically it was $23, and the last customer with the one item was the one that actually gave me the extra $3. Would you have ever thought that all this was hidden in a stacked order? Why is DoorDash hiding something like this against drivers? It's crazy to me that this actually happened to me today. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. I just talked a little earlier ago about Uber Eats doing a whole bunch of updates. Well, I break it all down in this video up next. I'll see you over there.